Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live cast today. And today's special talk is on mental resilience and generating inspiration during tough times. But before we begin, I would like to just acknowledge you, those who are joining us. I would like to honor you, and I would like to invite you to share this video to your friends so they can watch it with you as well. And to those of you who are watching online, how often have you faced struggles in your life and somehow you're able to overcome them? How often have you grown tougher as you go through tough situations, as you face some challenges? How often have you failed and you're able to bounce back? If you look back at your life, there were struggles that you have overcome. There were tough times that have helped you become tougher. And there were mistakes and failures that you've committed, but they taught you lessons. And you bounced back from those pits of mistakes and failures. And from these, you can tell that you have overcome. And if you have overcome struggles before, that gives us a message of hope. That gives you and me a message of hope that you can also overcome struggles, crisis situations, and tough times at present and in the future. From my own experience and from observing other people and from the sharing of wise men and women who have become my mentors, I maintain to believe this, that every adversity can be turned into an advantage. Let me repeat that. Every adversity can be turned into an advantage. And that will be possible if we have the much needed practices to face every adversity, crisis, struggle, or tough time. So in the next 15 minutes, you will be reminded of 3 life practices to build your mental resilience and generate inspiration during tough times. Are you ready? Here's the first life practice. Keep the right perspective. How do you view life? And how are you approaching life? Here's the thing. Life is like climbing a mango tree. And the process of climbing is difficult, but the process is required for you to reach the top, get a good view, and gather the fruit that you wanted. I still remember the days when I was way much younger. It was summertime, and just like these days, mango is in season. Now in our backyard is a mango tree. We have been waiting for it to bear fruit, and that year was the time. The mango has fruits. Well, the thing is, mango is my favorite fruit. I love it. It can be green mango, ripe mango. I just like mango. And now my older brother, who was good at climbing trees, went ahead and climbed to the top. He was there, and I wanted to go there as well. So I tried, and I made an attempt to climb. But ouch! That hurt, Napatid yung paa ko. Nasupalpal dun sa the trunk of the mango tree. But being a big boy that I was, I pretended it didn't hurt, even though it really hurt. So I tried again and again and again. And finally I got the grip. I was able to reach out to the first branch, and I pulled myself up. I reached out to the next branch and pulled myself up, and on to the next branch, and pulled myself up. And you know, this was challenging. I was sweating, and my hand was being stretched. I was being stretched, and it was tough. It was challenging. And yes, I was sweating profusely. Grabe ang pawis. Kasi mahirap eh. It was tough. Then finally, I was there. I made it. I climbed it. And then I sat on the branch next to me, and I looked forward. I just looked around. I looked ahead. And man, such a beautiful view. Ang ganda. Ang ganda ng paligid. It was so good. It was so exhilarating. And then tumingin ako sa kabila. I turned around and saw a mango fruit. And I reached out to it, pulled it, and now I was holding the mango in my hand. May bonus pa. I got a good view around. My friend, the climb was tough, but it was worth it. If you ask me, was the climb difficult? Yes, it was. Was it tough? Yes, it was. But was it worth it? The answer is yes. It was worth it. It was worth every sweat. It was worth every hurt. It was worth the climb. And I told you that story because life works in the same way. It is difficult, and it's often upwards, and we need to keep up with it. And here's what I realized. In life, the climb will be worth your time. The climb will be worth your time. Here's the thing. When we know that facing the tough time can be worth our time, we will climb up the challenge with peace in our heart. With peace in our heart. Very important. So again, always have the right perspective. Keeping the right perspective. Again, how do you view life? And how are you approaching life? Here's the second life practice. You have to stay connected. And the question is, how do you position in life? And how are you seeking support? And again, I'm here to tell you that life is like climbing a mango tree. For you to learn how to climb, it will be better if you observe and learn from someone who knows how to climb. What I did not tell you in the story I shared earlier was that before I made an attempt to climb the mango tree, I asked my brother to come down and show me how. Because I didn't know. It would have been my first time. And I wanted to learn how. And you know, I called my brother to come down, show me how. So he did. He came down and showed me how to climb. He even demonstrated it. Sabi niya, dito, lagay mo. He was, of course, speaking in Kankanay. Here, put your right foot here. Reach out to that branch. And then from there, left foot here. And this will give you a good position to reach out to the next branch. And off you can go. I observed what he did. I listened to his instructions. And I climbed my way up. Now, just like in life, it would be better if we learn from people who are successful in facing struggles. It would be better if we listen to people who have succeeded through the tough times. It would be better if we ask for help. We seek help. You know, one of the people I look up to is John Maxwell, a man of leadership who has seen and experienced several crisis situations in his life. He was able to grow through those, and he's still thriving up to this day. Now, last week, he conducted a virtual leadership summit, and he shared perspective principles to help us see the opportunity in every difficulty. It is to turn adversity into advantage. And these perspective principles are important because perspective is power. And John Maxwell says, how we view things is how we do things. How we view things is how we do things. So let me give you a rundown of the 10 perspective principles that I learned from him. Number 1, everything worthwhile is uphill. You know, it sounds like the first point I just gave you. Life is like climbing a mango tree, right? So that's what he said. Everything worthwhile is uphill. And we have to embrace that life is not easy. Anything that is worthwhile is not easy. And here's what I realized. A tough time or a crisis can actually help us achieve something worthwhile. And knowing this gives us peace. Peace in our heart. Number 2, sabi niya, there is always an answer. We may not know it yet, but there is an answer. And we will find a way out. And successful people know that. And successful people think differently. So here's what I realized. Kahit hindi pa natin alam yung sagot, merong sagot. Merong sagot. And knowing this gives us hope. Pag-asa. Number 3, sabi niya, allow adversity to help you discover who you really are. Who you really are and what can you do. Number 4, develop a positive life stance. John Maxwell shares these few lines, and I would like to read it. Life is filled with good and bad. Life is out of our control. Some of the good and bad will find me. If you have a positive life stance, they will get better. If you have a negative life stance, they will get worse. Therefore, I choose a positive life stance. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. And remember this, my friend. Just because we are in a bad situation doesn't mean it has to be all bad. Hindi na nangangahulugan na kung we are facing a bad situation, ay kailangan maging bad ang lahat ng ating pamumuhay. No, it doesn't have to be. So number 5 is this. We need to feed our faith. Starve our fear. What are you feeding? And remember that what you focus on expands. So ang tanong, what are you pushing on others? Is it your faith or is it fear? This moment, I would like to push faith to you. I would like to emphasize that we need to feed our faith. Number 6, motion influence emotions. So we need to turn negative emotions into positive action. Number 7, make today count. Take it one day at a time. And even just for today, tell yourself, be your best. I will be my best. Right? Now imagine if you say that to yourself every single day. You will get the compounding result of each day. Number 8, reflect instead of react. And from that, we must turn our reflection into action. Number 9, always look at the big picture. The small picture is looking just yourself, is just me, right? The big picture includes others. Now, when you start to look at others, the perspective, your perspective, changes. So always look at the big picture. And I would like to add personally on looking at the big picture that we need to look at life the way it is, in a bigger way, Sometimes when we are in a situation, we are facing a struggle, and this is like the struggle, right? And if you look at it, it's like, yes, it's difficult. Yes, it can be painful, right? You're struggling in here, and yes, I acknowledge that. But hey, that is just a part of a bigger story. Look at your life as a whole. Even just look back into your life and compare that to this small part. And oftentimes when you're facing a struggle, when you're facing a tough time, the tendency is to zoom into this small part that is difficult, that is tough, and try to say that life is so bad. But look at life in a bigger way. Look at the bigger picture. And yes, maybe you're struggling right now. Yes, maybe you're facing a tough time. But we know that this too shall pass. Because we're looking at the bigger picture. And add all those we've discussed earlier. Remember to feed our faith. And remember to keep perspective and having that sense of peace and that sense of hope. And lastly, number 10, sabi ni John, adversity makes people stronger. So let's take this opportunity to grow stronger. And I pray that I will grow stronger. I pray that you will grow stronger. Are we taking this opportunity to grow stronger? Those are 10 perspective principles that we can learn from people who have seen crisis situations in his life, several crisis situations. And this is absorbing these learnings is one of the ways on how we are seeking support from people. And that's life practice number 2. It is staying connected. How are we positioning ourselves in life? And how are we seeking support? And this comes with also asking support from your friends if you need to. From experts. If you're going through something, it's okay to ask for help. Asking for help is an indication, is not an indication of being weak. It's an indication of being strong. So seek help. Seek support. And it can be indirectly as absorbing all the wisdom from people who have gone through tough times, who have gone through challenges that you may be facing right now. So let's review, my friends, before I go on to the third and last point. First life practice is to keep the right perspective. How do you view life? And how are you approaching life? And we said that life is like climbing a mango tree. The process of climbing is difficult, but the process is required for you to reach the top, get a good view, and gather the fruit that you wanted. Second is this. Second life practice is stay connected. How do you position in life, and how are you seeking support? And we were reminded that life is like climbing a mango tree. For you to learn, it is better to observe and learn from someone who knows how to climb. And finally, here's the third life practice. Stay productive. How are you responding to life? And what do you do during the tough times? How are you responding? And again, life is like climbing a mango tree. You will not be able to climb up if you will not move. So you have to move your feet, your hands, your body, and believing that you can go and actually climb. You have to move, right? You have to do something. So my question to you is, what can you do now? So take this time to repair, and prepare. That's going to be your move. Repair yourself. Take this time to forgive yourself. Forgive people who hurt you. Let go of resentments and anger. Release yourself from the internal chains that are binding you. Unload the emotional baggage you have been carrying all your life. And yes, that can be difficult, that could be so painful, but don't let that bad event that happened years ago pull you down and hinder you from experiencing the beauty of life today and the days to come. So repair yourself. Number 2 is this. Prepare yourself. Prepare for the future days to come. Prepare for the new normal after this crisis, after this tough time. Prepare yourself. By how? By growing yourself. Equip yourself with the right mindset and the required skill set. And you joining me in this live cast, I honor you, acknowledge you, because somehow you're equipping yourself. You're growing through this tough time. You know, looking at my life, I see these lessons come alive. From facing struggles in the family, in school, at work, in my profession, even in love life, right? In this crisis situation that we are in right now. You know, the statement that I came across when I was in high school is true indeed. It says there is a window of opportunity in every difficulty. There is a window of opportunity in every difficulty. My friend, you can turn every adversity into an advantage. Now you just need to put into action the things that we've discussed. And again, I thank you for joining us today. Do share this to your friends, share to your groups, and feel free to share your insights, your comments as well. And if you have questions, and we might not be able to answer them right now, but we'll make sure to answer them in our future live casts, in our future videos. And put into action these life principles, life practices. Keep the right perspective. Second, stay connected. And third, stay productive. And together with all the learnings that you can get from mentors, from people who you look up to, you will have the right mindset and the right skill set to face the tough times. So again, when you face a struggle, a crisis, or a tough situation, remember this. Life is like climbing a mango tree. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that served you. And let me just give some announcements before you go. I would like to encourage you to like my page, facebook.com/Chris Dao-anis, or if you're watching this on YouTube, do subscribe to this channel. And also, some of you that I do speaking. I also do coaching on public speaking. I give content on that. So I would like to invite you to join the Speaker Circle on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Speaker Circle PH. Right? And again, don't forget to like my page at facebook.com/Chris Dao-anis.